Excuse me? We are humans floating on a rock. What do you mean? You're scared to take a risk? Huh? Hello everyone, welcome back. We have a location switch because I'm at home. So we're by the fireplace. Thought it'd be a little moody setting. I'm Deirdre here though, so let's hop right into it today. We're jumping into a quote. As you can see, we're talking about risk. It's the new year. Take a leap, take a chance, take a risk. And this quote by John Rohn exemplifies so much why you should. Jim Rohn says if you are not willing to risk the unusual, you will have to settle for ordinary. How many of y'all want to live ordinary lives? I don't. And I love taking a risk. But what about you? Are you tired of living an ordinary life? And if you are, then it's time to start taking some new risks. It's time to get out of your comfort zone. It's time to do something different. It's time to do something you know you want to do, but you're just a little too scared. Because the risk to you is worse than the reward. But is it? Have you really sat down and thought about that? Have you looked at risk versus reward? When you think of taking a risk, taking a leap of faith, the comfort of security and commonness is what usually holds people back. And with that comes the fears, the thoughts, the doubts, and all the things that you are convincing yourself is more risky than the benefit of what you would get from taking that leap of faith. I'm always going to take the risk. And you should too when it comes to your dreams, your desires, your goals. Any risk that is an investment in the betterment of yourself, your future, your skills is almost always going to be worth it. Sometimes you got to give a little to get a little. Haven't you heard that? It's a cycle. Giving and receiving is a flow. Let me give you a couple examples. Are you willing to risk $1,000 if you knew that it would double your income? Are you willing to risk a little bit of rejection to ask that person out who could possibly be your life partner? Are you willing to risk that stability of a job to take that business or that dream to the next level? Are you willing to risk letting go of some control and putting that in the hands of someone else so that you can scale your business? If you look at this risk versus reward, the detriment of the risk is never as great as the goodness of the reward. And oftentimes most decisions, most risks you decide to take in your life is all about the mentality. It's all about the perspective. Even when things don't go your way. I'm going to be honest, I've taken a lot of risks in my young age of 25, and a lot of them have failed. Whether it was a business venture, whether it was something I took a leap of faith with a relationship. They didn't work out, but how much did I learn? How much did I gain from that experience, regardless of if the risk came out to be exactly what I wanted it to be? I haven't seen any risk that I've taken as not worth it in any of those situations, because at the end of the day, it's putting me where I need to be. Whether I learned a lesson or I decided that it wasn't for me, it wasn't the right choice, it failed, I've gained skills, I've gained knowledge, I've gained wisdom, and now I can reapply that into other areas of my life or reapply that into the next risk, the next decision that I make, so it's more applicable and more resonant with where I want to be in life. I'm all about no regrets. I would rather have tried something and disliked it than never have tried it at all. If you harp too much on what you're losing when you're taking a risk, then you're not even focusing anymore on how much more you'd be gaining if you do. That's why life is so much about perspective, because you don't want to waste time and get old and realize that you haven't done anything with your life. You haven't experienced things because you were too fearful, or you didn't want to take the risk or the leap because you were so comfortable in where you are at in that moment. Like, excuse me? We are humans floating on a rock. What do you mean? You're scared to take a risk? Huh? Sorry for the last minute change of location. Back to what I was saying. I think people's misconception with taking a leap of faith, taking a risk, is that you don't prepare. Now that you're deciding to make this choice, what are you going to do now to put yourself in the best position for this to work out for you, to make this risk that you're taking get you the return that you were expecting? That's the part I feel like people leave out. Take the risk, just do it. Yes, try it, no regrets. Yes, and then do the work to make sure that you are doing everything you possibly can for this to work out. And if it doesn't, let go of the control and say, all right, it wasn't for me. This didn't work out the way it should have. I'll take what I can perspective, skills, changes, growth, and I'll move forward. And I want to end on this note because as much as I talked about mentality being important when you take a risk and it doesn't go right, is having the mentality that it's going to work out for you when you do take that risk. I always say it, mind over matter. If you are taking a risk and you are doubting it the whole time, it's 10 times more likely that it's actually not going to work out for you. And that has nothing to do with what actions or non-actions that you are doing involved. That is just your mentality and your mind working against you and putting you in a position to fail in the first place. So let's start there and then do everything you can. I love when people try new things. I love when people risk it for their dreams, for their goals, for their happiness in their life. And there's no reason not to take a risk. As the world sometimes falls into shambles and we watch from the sidelines or from the front lines, you realize that you only have so much control over things happening in this world. When it comes to your personal reality, you have an opportunity to do the things that make you happy and not let the outside world and the outside perspectives of everyone else change that for you. That's your decision. And you can make that choice regardless of what happens around you. So take the risk, take the leap, just do it. Because there's no better time than now. All right. I hope I got you to kick your gear into action today, because that was my goal. So happy Sunday. If you enjoyed this video, stay tuned for next week. We're hopping into episode 2, which is all about nutrition, health, mental health, physical health. That's what we're going to do a deep dive into next. So please give this video a like, subscribe to stay tuned, turn on those bell notifications if you would like. But until next time, whatever time it is, wherever you're at, good morning, good evening, good night. Love you. Bye. Great stuff. Ow, guys, that hurt. Honestly, tell me I don't look so sexy right now. I just got this red wig, and I'm figuring out the wig game right now. Let's glue this. Let me show you the whole thing. But this little like blowout curl has been my favorite. And I took a break from wigs for a while because I was like, I just feel like they're not for me, but what do y'all think? I think they might be for me. Of course, I'll always love Miss Natural Deirdre, but every once in a while you just gotta